Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The 12th Man. I'm your host Prakash and this is my co-host Pratty. And now we'll be bringing you the games from GameWeek 2.
Yeah, a good game week
Mm,
for me, a bad game week for you.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah,
And it was interesting because both of our teams played our sort of like our last season weaknesses. You know?
exactly. Yeah, a kryptonite basically.
Pretty much, huh?
Yeah, United played Brighton and Liverpool played Crystal Palace, or known for.
Yes. Okay, so we'll go one by
Yeah,
one. Let's start with the first game, which was Cardiff and Newcastle.
yeah, it was a
Um,
0-0 draw, right?
yeah, pretty much it was.
Except
Yeah,
for the
it was
last. Oh
not.
wait, the last minute, Newcastle had that penalty, and
This was the 7:30 a.m. game
yeah,
on Saturdays.
Newcastle had a penalty in the last minute or something, and Kennedy took it up. The Chelsea youngster, I think he's on loan
Okay.
to Newcastle. He took it up. He had been having a really bad game, so he took it up, and the keeper saved. I think he's the first keeper from. I think the first Filipino keeper or something to have a clean sheet in the
He's
Premier.
Filipino.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. He had 16 points in fantasy last week. I know that. I mean, this week. I know that.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we've both been playing a bunch of fantasy football this week. I mean, as always.
Yeah.
But I'm also into it this time. Anyway, so that was great on him. It's not just that. He's that same goalkeeper's actually saved in the two games that he's played. He saved a penalty in each.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he's actually been doing quite well, for Cardiff at least. Even though they lost the game before that, but he still saved a penalty.
Yep.
So yeah. Then we had the game of
For
Everton versus Southampton.
ooh. Okay.
Richarlison showed up again.
Yeah,
Right.
I know, right? He's like, I mean, I thought they overpaid when they paid 50 million or whatever, 50 million for Richarlison.
Yeah, 50. Yeah.
But he seems to be paying it off in quick installments.
Yeah,
Two
pretty
goals
much.
against Watford, one goal, I think, against Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah.
And Danny Ings
It's
scored as
interesting.
well for Southampton, which is good to see. Because
Yeah.
he moved on the last deadline. And it was clear that he wasn't getting opportunities in Liverpool, so it made sense for him to move to Southampton. And obviously, right, every transfer window has to have one Liverpool Southampton deal.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously,
Yeah.
is this like written
So,
in somewhere, some contract? So, but yeah, it
yeah,
was
just
nice.
like the Liverpool boys scored, you also had the Arsenal boys score. Walcott also had a goal. Right?
Oh, Walcott.
Yeah.
Haven't heard of
So
him from him for a while.
for a while, yeah. But we've been hearing a lot about Rooney
Hmm.
from across the water. Here,
Yes.
DC, Rooney's been killing it,
Yeah.
absolutely destroying it. Anyway, so that was that game.
Mhm.
It's quite interesting. I think it was good to see how it went. Walcott was the standout performer. I don't think he won the man of the match though. I'm not really sure, but he played quite well. I think I like that. Good to see that Everton are picking themselves up under Marco Silva.
Silva, yeah, I know, yeah. It's with the signings that they made, it's kind of little not scary for Liverpool. It's not really scary, but it's going to be a
Mhm.
tougher test than it has been, I think, for a while.
Yeah, the fact that even Yeri Mina, who's there now, right?
Yeah,
So
and set pieces.
yeah, he's so tall. Fuck, he's just going. It's gonna bully other teams' defenders at that rate.
Exactly.
But speaking of like Portuguese teams and Portuguese manager, the next game we had was Leicester versus Wolves.
Oh, wait, yeah, Leicester. Oh, that was the one I think where they had like a really early goal, right, Leicester?
Did they? All I remember was that Madison scored a goal.
And Vardy got sent off.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think
Oh yeah. Vardy did get sent off. Yeah,
direct
yeah,
red,
right.
direct
Okay.
red. Yeah, so
Huh, huh.
three games off, and they're playing Liverpool, so it's good. No Vardy,
No,
no Vardy, no
that's
party.
not fair. Vardy played against us and scored.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and you know
Vardy
his
against top six.
yeah, his
Is
record
there a
against the
better
top
love story
six.
than
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, man.
Well,
Okay, so that's a good thing.
so Madison basically scored both the goals
Oh,
against Wolves for Leicester.
that's a good
So like even against United, you could see the guy like he was poking and prodding,
Yeah.
and there was like something happening with him. Like against United, it was dangerous playing against them. And you could tell that there are things in store for this guy.
Yeah,
He's already showed it in the second game. So good for him.
yeah. Okay, so what's the next game then after that?
Then we have Spurs versus Fulham.
Yeah, that was a good game to watch. Actually, I watched that game. I mean, I need to keep a close eye on the top four, basically. It was really good though. Again, we saw. Well, they were a little more
There were
livelier.
chances.
Yeah, they were livelier
Yeah.
than they were early on, and
Mhm.
but Fulham were attacking as well. So it was end-to-end stuff kind of in the first half.
Right.
Okay, I mean, obviously Spurs had the upper hand. They had more chances. Lucas Moura had, I think, a couple of chances before he scored that proper FIFA finesse goal. You knew it was coming, right? You knew when you
Yeah, he had a couple chances before he scored too.
yeah,
Like where you thought he should have.
and
Yeah.
but when he scored that, the moment you saw the shot, when he like the moment you saw the his foot connect with the ball, you knew it was going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those shots when you play FIFA and you hold your finesse button and then you
Yeah.
press the
You
circle
can
or
see it
square.
happening. Even though
Yeah,
it feels in slow
yeah,
motion, you
yeah,
just know it's gonna
yeah.
happen. Yeah.
So it was good to see him, and the
And
big
I guess he's gonna cement his place now that Song's also
son,
gone out of
yeah,
the team for a while.
Asian games, right? So it's gonna be difficult. I don't know how difficult it is for Son to get back. Son is a very good player, but if
Speaking of the Asian games, I have a question.
yeah,
Do we have the African? We don't have it this year, right? The
no,
African games are next year. Are
next
they
year,
next year?
yeah, next year in
Oh,
July, August. I mean during preseason that time.
really?
Yeah, so
The African games?
they always used to
Oh, they
have it.
moved it.
They always used to have it in December, Jan.
Yeah. Then like Mane had to leave your team and all.
Exactly, and the season after Mane had to leave or whatever, and then we ran short or whatever, they shifted it to July, August.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So
But
which
it's
is
gonna be so hot for them to play at that time in Africa.
yeah, but
Oh, sad.
I mean yeah,
Sad.
they are getting prepped for Qatar.
Okay, yeah, everybody.
Oh, but Qatar is in December, so not too bad.
Is it actually like is it confirmed to be in December?
They've put out the dates, so
So what's gonna happen to the fucking Premier League, man? Like, what's gonna happen to all the different leagues? I have
that's
no
for another
idea.
video. Anyway,
Okay, that's for
so
another
yeah,
video. Yeah.
so in terms of so the biggest story though that came from the Fulham and Spurs game was that Harry Kane finally broke his August duck.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I felt like I just had a feeling that he was going to score. He's
He
gonna do
he
it.
had a couple of chances before and he missed, and everyone was like, oh, but
But
he
he's
hasn't
always
scored.
missed in August. Like last year, how
Yeah.
many chances he missed in August? It was mind-boggling to watch him. And he himself, this idiot, comes on TV and he himself goes like, "Yeah, it's August. I don't score." I'm like, okay, it's one thing for fans to be superstitious, but not you too.
He's like, yeah, I know I don't score, but now that he has scored, now they'll expect more from him, especially with the
Yeah,
next match being against United.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Excited.
So but Saturday ended up with a super Saturday, right? Which was
Yeah.
Arsenal Chelsea, and oh my God, what a
What a
match!
game! What
Ended
a
up
game!
3-2, but it could have been so much different had the goals gone in from
Like Arsenal, it felt like Arsenal were doing the same move over and over again. And
yeah,
then from that same move, they missed two chances at the start,
yeah,
and they scored the next two chances.
yeah,
And then right after they had one more chance.
yeah. It was
So these,
crazy
yeah,
because you'd expect Aubameyang to score that. I mean, everyone's been saying how good a player he is,
yeah,
and it shows. Well, it shows that tap-ins aren't really the easiest goals to score, but Auba really should be scoring that. Score that, Arsenal would have been 1-1, right? I think because
yeah. And then right,
Pedro
like it was
scored
he
early
misses
on.
it, and it went to the other side, and then these guys scored.
Yeah,
It was like
and
right
then you
away, right
had Mkhitaryan's missing it, and then Mkhitaryan scoring a more difficult chance than what he missed.
then. Yeah, pretty much. No,
I
it was more like it felt like out of frustration. Like, I'm just gonna take a shot, but it was a good shot.
it was a
And
good shot, but I thought Aritha Balaga should have done
yeah, because he got
better.
his hand, got
Yeah,
his hand to it too.
like a
And
little
both the goals, he actually got his hand to it. That was scored against him.
yeah. But Iwobi was really close, so not too much of a reaction shot. But this, I think
He could have.
could have.
This was definitely a save,
Yeah,
but I do for a 70 million keeper, I do expect more from him than
Yeah.
just what he showed that day. The
exactly.
fact that he can get across to it, but he still didn't save it, that is a disappointment, especially for Chelsea fans. I would say.
I think the game could have been divided into like 4 halves instead of 2. The first half was Chelsea all the way. Pedro
Yeah,
scoring. They were dominating. They were
completely.
running, and Bellerin, Mustafi couldn't deal with runs behind them.
Yeah.
Okay, they
It
were
was
all
that
out of.
it was that move where like they come into the channels and they'd go and
Yeah,
they'd give that cutback, right?
yeah,
And that cutback, you had like the exact same thing happen 5 times, and like it's like come on, after one second time, you
exactly.
should be able to learn to figure this shit out.
Exactly. And so the first half, first half was Chelsea.
Mm.
Second half of the first half was Arsenal, where they had scored. They equalized with those 2 goals. They had 3 other chances which they missed, and they could have
Mm.
easily taken the lead.
Yeah,
And then you had the first half of the second half, which was again Arsenal. I think they had the momentum going into the second. They wouldn't have wanted that 15-minute break because they were really at Chelsea.
yeah, yep, yep.
And then when you
Oh wait,
have,
before we even get to that, like
yeah,
there was a big thing. Forget Kane scoring in August. We had Morata even scoring.
oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Kane scored in August. Morata scores for the first time in 15 games.
and
Like
it wasn't like it was a header. He
it
actually
was a
took the ball. He went,
dribble,
dribbled
exactly.
past, cut it
Yeah,
in, cut
yep,
inside.
yep. But still
Mustafi.
the same old Aspilicueta pass.
Yeah,
That story was the
it's like he
same,
just
but everything else was different.
over
Yeah.
midfield from
Yep.
defense, and I was shocked.
Mm.
So shocked that I couldn't even remember that he scored. But yeah,
But yeah, that took the game to 2-2, and then
yeah, and then the
we had
last
your
half
first half of the
was
second.
crazy when Eden Hazard came. You just saw what quality he has.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just gotta leave, man. Just go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, stop being cheap and buy like waiting for Neymar and shit. Just get this guy.
yeah, I don't know who he was impressing, but he impressed everyone. It's just
Yep.
he took on all the Arsenal defenders, and he loves playing against Arsenal. So
Oh, that's his team.
yeah, like the way he ran past company, and it's the fact that he has the ball, and then 2 seconds later he can run away with it, and you can't
Exactly.
catch him.
He can beat a man. You know, like you know he can beat almost every man.
It reminded
Pretty
me of
much.
what Ronaldo used to do, except
Yeah.
less of the step overs.
And
Like,
more of like actual end product. Like,
yeah,
you know, and he's also more unselfish. Like he'd play the ball to
yeah.
somebody. He'll pick the right pass.
Early Ronaldo was unselfish as well. It was
Yeah,
like,
I guess he was beat into being unselfish.
yeah,
That was the problem. Couldn't do that United.
yeah,
But yeah, so that was the best game of Saturday. Probably the best
okay,
game of the weekend, I would say.
yeah, definitely,
With both sides battling it out. It was exciting
exactly.
till the finish.
I,
Then
I
we
think
move on
I
to
don't think yeah I think Arsenal would be okay with the performance level.
it's like they can come back with their head held high
Yeah,
in
despite
certain
I
regard,
think despite
despite
losing
their
the
shitty
first
finish.
2 matches since I think 92, 93, they never lost the opening 2 matches. So.
Oh my god! But yeah, I guess it's like you're opening 2 matches as City and Chelsea, so
Exactly.
you can give them a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now we go to Sunday.
Super Sunday.
Well, was it? Well, for me it was.
Yeah, it was Super Sunday. In a way, it was a sad Sunday for me. So
because
we
we
had
saw one Manchester team really show their quality,
yeah, like
and the other
rip
Manchester
apart.
team, well,
Yeah. I mean, like the thing is, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna say this with it was kind of like for Man City to play Huddersfield, it's like Man City playing Liverpool, right? There are only two options. There are only two things that can come
yeah,
out of it. One is one team decisively beating the other, or the other team beating the other, because they play in the same form. They press,
yeah,
but pressing makes you play
open,
really
yeah,
high up,
and you leave yourself
open
open
system.
behind.
And Huddersfield clearly doesn't have the quality of Van Dijk or like the team that Liverpool
Yeah,
over the few seasons have like built up with strength.
yeah,
So what happens is with the team like City, you just get overrun, and it's like that. It's like that was kind of what was expected in certain regard.
yeah.
And City destroyed Huddersfield with a absolutely massive 6-1 game. Aguero hat trick and like Mendy with his 4 assists. It's just
Yeah.
it was
just take your pick and shoot as many.
pretty much, yeah.
So the thing was Huddersfield is that while they have that pressing game, it's unlike Liverpool, they can't sustain it for long. So City knew that
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes might just be like trying to get it into the
Yeah,
Huddersfield
into
box.
the field.
But you knew once Huddersfield tired, just go for the kill.
Right, and also the quality isn't
Yeah.
there. You don't have that much the
Exactly.
defense that maybe Liverpool might have
Yeah, and
to take care of the mistakes or the open spaces. Or
Mendy
the
was just
space that they have.
bossing the left wing, man.
Just yeah,
Like-
like I was so happy that he wasn't playing last year because we knew with Mendy coming in, just the beauty of his crosses. It's incomparable how beautiful his crosses are. Like it's like if Mendy and Lukaku are in one team,
Oh
like
yeah,
it's
that
done.
would be, yeah. The thing with I didn't get about City was that why are you crossing? Your two strikers are Jesus and Aguero. They're like 5'7" and 5'6"
Yeah.
or 8 or whatever.
But the good thing is Mendy still can also beat a man and do the cutback.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what helps a lot. And despite being that short in nature or height or whatever, they still manage to get those crosses in
Get
and
the goals.
work it. Yeah.
So on the same thing about how Huddersfield is weak towards City.
Yeah.
Let's go over to United and Brighton. So the thing with United and Brighton story is we know for a fact that United's defense is shit. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't had a consistent centre back pairing, even though we have five centre backs.
Vidic, Ferdinand. Yeah.
Yeah, we have five centre backs, and we know that almost every single one of them has a mistake in them.
Exactly.
Every single one of them has a mistake.
I thought Bailly is, or I wouldn't say would have, is the most consistent
standout. He's exceptional when he needs to be, like he is, but he also has that little bit of recklessness in it.
And that was in full spotlight against Brighton
in this game.
Yeah,
it was absolutely it really was, and it's like, and the thing is, Brighton knew that the United centre backs are a weak point.
Yeah.
And that's why you press them. And like I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like yelling at the screen saying, "Look at that! You had two centre backs.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically our defense was one adventurous left back, full back. So you'd be left with three. And when you had three people in defense, Brighton piled attackers on top of it.
They pressed,
we would have pressed the hell out of the defense, and on top of that, you would have let's say you'd have like at times you had 3-on-3. Three attackers on three centre backs, and sometimes you even had 4-on-3. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, these guys cannot play through that. It's just not possible.
I didn't get the whole point of playing Pereira in central defensive midfield. I mean, why?
Right. I mean, because Matter is not available.
But still, I wouldn't.
There's
I would
nobody
rather
else
put
left.
Fred up there and put Pereira more.
But Fred and Pereira actually rotated too. But the thing is, even Fred isn't that type. Like you could see how glaringly we miss Matic in that case. Where he can take care of that press. Someone's coming to press him, he'll just put a hand up, and that guy like hit.
But something has to be done with Pogba and his link-up play for United.
And his inconsistencies,
No, but it's like when you see him against France, him pinging those balls to a running Mbappe. It's not like United don't have pace. They have Rashford and Martial running.
It's inconsistency. Like the game before this, he had all of that. He felt like a France player. He had the pinging balls across the yard. And all of a sudden this game he's missing. He couldn't play a 15-yard pass properly.
Yeah, and he was holding up play, which is fine, but hold up and then pass it to someone who's running. But no, he'd pass it back, and I was like, you've lost your opportunity to.
Exactly.
Like Martial wasn't too great either.
Oh, and Martial was like terrible. He was horrendous.
Mourinho more ammunition to target.
The issue is that like Martial doesn't run. He's a guy who wants the ball at his feet, right?
And that's the biggest and take on defenders.
Yeah, he wants to like get the ball and then run at defenders. And because of that, you had like so many instances where Martial and Shaw were were on top of each other. Yeah. They were literally like looking at each other like, "Hey, what are you doing in my space?" And that was happening many, many times. Like it didn't just happen once. So like that's another issue. It's like it still doesn't feel as if the team is cohesive. It feels like watching Crystal Palace play against Liverpool today.
Yeah.
It was like, look at this team. They know what to do, where to get the ball. It was like losing balls weren't a fault of people not understanding each other. Yeah. And that is a huge problem, it seems, for United. And that is something that they really need to get our act together.
But you could actually see in the match, the body language from players and Mourinho wasn't like, it felt very off. You get it? Like, it didn't feel like they had that mentality of, oh, we're
Yeah,
Manchester, we're the biggest club and we're gonna thrash you. Like
yeah. No, it didn't seem like it.
some players were like, okay, oh shit, like I don't want to
They
play.
weren't. Yeah, they weren't up for the game. It really
Yeah,
was, and Brighton were, and that was the
yeah,
biggest, I guess, difference. Brighton
exactly.
came, they took it. They knew that they could beat us. They knew that that United were there for the taking, and they did. They pressed the hell out of the players, took advantage of the defense, the weakness in defense,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's
I
what
think this is
happened.
the second time in 2 seasons that they've beaten United at home.
Yep, with 2 goals,
Two goals. Yeah,
two or more, because they beat us 2-0 last time.
yeah. Now it's
At least this time
3-2.
there was like 2 goals. Even though that kind of does flattery to the thing because there was a penalty at the
Yeah,
last minute. It
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 it.
was 3-1.
Yeah.
Really, it was pretty embarrassing.
And speaking of Man United's kryptonite, we move now to Monday Night
Li-
Football, or today's football match, which is Crystal Palace
Yeah,
versus Liverpool.
and Liverpool's kryptonite
Yeah,
with
well,
the fast pace
yeah.
attacking Crystal Palace, the pace of Zaha,
Zaha,
Townsend.
Townsend, and you have Benteke, who, if Zaha and Townsend can cross it into, can cause a
Yeah,
real problem.
yep.
But Liverpool were obviously victorious. And that's and I think the man of the match, standard performer, had to be Van Dijk. I mean,
Yeah,
he
definitely. There were like points where like I was looking at Van Dijk and I was like, he's being brave there. He's being a leader at this
yeah.
point, taking the header.
And it's
Hmm.
not only that, but every time I saw Van Dijk, it's kind of giving me like this sense of calmness, because when I see Van Dijk and if suppose Allison passes the ball to Joe Gomez, right? Allison's telling Gomez, pass it there or pass it to me. He's directing play from the back, which is
Hmm.
really, I mean, I haven't
Good.
seen that since probably
Hmm.
Hupia days or whatever. Okay,
Hmm.
like, which is really good. Like, he's commanding in the box. He's commanding. He's telling players what to do. Like I said last time, he screamed at Mane for stopping the cross. This time he was yelling at Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Hmm.
He was directing play, saying, "Pass it to me now, and then you make the run forward. I will pass it to you." So that little orchestra, those the conductor role that he's playing there is really great. And for some reason, I was even more calm with Allison, man. Damn, dude, the guy is like so commanding in the box.
That's something that like Liverpool sorely missed,
Yeah,
and it's crazy to see that you guys have that now. You
yeah.
know.
It's like crosses coming in, and I was like, every time a cross came in or Crystal Palace had a cross, I was not scared this time, man. I used to be petrified
Yeah.
every time a cross used to come in before, but this time I was like, Allison is there,
You have
Van Dijk.
Allison and you also have Van Dijk, this
Yeah,
like huge, massive guy who's commanding. His
yeah,
presence is important. He's a leader in that defensive line. He's
yeah.
not somebody who's afraid or who's looking and pointing fingers at somebody else. He's taking charge, and that's great. That's pretty cool to see.
And
Pretty scary to
we've
see.
seen people like teams like Arsenal and Chelsea play out from the back, right? And the keepers are slightly still unsure because they're trying to get used to this new system. But you see with Allison, even when people are running at him, like strikers are pressing down at him, he still has the calmness to turn around and pass it far wide to the player.
Yeah.
And even if he thinks he's too crowded out, his long balls, his distribution today was so much better than it was last week against West Ham. So I mean, I was just so happy with our defense.
Right, and for me, I think the person who stood out to me from Liverpool was
Yeah.
actually Keita. I really
Yeah.
liked his like piercing runs into the thing and into Crystal Palace's defense and his
Yeah.
balls over the top to Salah. The one where Salah like
Yeah.
controlled it perfectly and chipped a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It was crazy to see that link up play between those two.
Yeah, so like I pointed out defense because that's been our weakness. So to see that and to see, I mean, I was so calm when we were in defense. It was something so unnatural. I was like, where am I? What am I watching? But like you said, yeah, I was really impressed by Keita as well. Boss midfield. I still think he needs to work up on his tracking back and his interception pressing play. But when he had the ball, he was calm. He knew where each player was. Like you said, the
Yeah.
Salah pass was crazy. It's going to be interesting to see because we don't have that Coutinho type player who'll unlock tight defenses.
Tight defenses.
So Keita, I still didn't see so much of that unlocking defense. He likes to pass short passes and then get it back and try and
Yeah.
find his way through. Which if you're really clamped
Compact,
down,
compact. In Premier League defenses, it might be difficult.
It
You
might
want
be
somebody who's comfortable taking shots from outside the
exactly.
box.
So that was a little maybe that's why we have Shaqiri who can do that from outside the box.
Definitely.
But otherwise, I was very happy with our team performance. We won 2-0, and a couple of controversial
very
decisions.
Exciting match.
Yeah,
it was a very exciting match, and then right. We can move on to the controversial decisions.
I think so. The Salah penalty, which the Salah Sako on Salah penalty, which Milner scored. So the thing was.
It was soft, okay?
It was soft. It was soft. But you see strikers falling the moment they touch, and he was touched. It wasn't a dive like a proper dive.
It wasn't necessary. It was he embellished the fall. You can say that. But if anything, it was there was contact, and you can technically argue for it.
So like I was seeing on I think Monday Night Football, whatever they said, if you are a Liverpool fan, you'll say it's for. If you're a
pretty much exactly
Crystal Palace fan, you'll say not. And the ref could have given it either way, and both sides would have had a good argument for it.
Pretty much exactly.
But it was more a penalty than it was not.
Right, but the red card though, that I'm not so sure about.
I don't know. I still think even Hodgson said there was contact, so he admitted.
But so then the distinguishing between yellow and red was there a genuine attempt for the ball? Right.
So that was there. But I think there's a new rule which says that if it is outside the box, then it is definitely a red. But if it is inside the box, if it's inside the box, then
the new rule is that if there is genuinely an attempt for the ball, it's yellow, no matter where. If there isn't and he's just going for his legs, then it's a red.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought if it was inside the box, because I remember this being in the World Cup as well, when it was inside the box or something, or it was outside. No, it was an outside free kick thing, and he attempted the ball and he got a red. There's some. I don't know what the new rules.
Okay. Because the World Cup one, I remember there was a thing in the World Cup where he got a yellow, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? That should be a red." And then they were like, "No. He actually tried to get the ball, even though he was the last man."
Exactly. I think because what the commentator said that was that he should have let him go into the penalty box and probably done it there. But the thing is, like, you're giving off a penalty. Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword. You're giving off a penalty, but you're saving yourself a red card.
Oh, that's fine. But Wan-Bissaka is so good. It's sad to see. It'll be sad to see Crystal Palace play without him for another.
He was really good. Crystal Palace, Roy had his tactics spot on, man.
Really, he did.
Contact.
I don't think he could have played better that day. Today, it was such a good game for Crystal Palace, and it was just came down to some individual things or small things.
Yep.
That's pretty much it for this week. Yeah, and it was a very interesting one for some teams and for some not so much.
Yeah.
But anyway,
next week
I'm really excited for
right?
Monday Night Football. Manchester United versus Spurs.
Oh shit.
Harry Kane versus Lukaku.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Will Pogba turn up?
I have a feeling United might just turn up because it's a big match.
See, with the big match, they're like ramped up and they're ready to go. With these small teams, like last year, we lost 18 points to the small teams, and City won the league by 19 points.
Oh.
It's sad that United can't seem to turn up against these big teams. It's something that they have to work on.
Yeah, so next week we're gonna see who's gonna win match, who's gonna win big. Is City gonna continue their run? Is Liverpool gonna still be behind City? And is Mourinho gonna change his way?
Let's see.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it for now. That's it for this week from the 12th Man. It was great talking to you. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Not much, but we'll see you next week. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.